Live button. It's going live. And we are live. Welcome, everyone. How y'all doing?
Doing
We're
good. I see.
back.
Actually, you got a fresh cut.
I did get a haircut.
Meanwhile, I'm getting more and more ragged.
It's okay. It happens. All right. So we didn't have a show last week, so we got quite a bit to go through. But we'll get through this all.
Yeah, we should be able to breeze through it. I mean, I don't think there was too many news articles between last week and this week.
Nah, I don't think so either. I don't think any major event drop where here's here's like 30 things that's coming from Disney.
I think it's just gonna be mostly DC news, if anything, right?
I think that was a lot of DC stuff. Like, for instance, Warner Bros. Discoveries will not shut down their writers and directors workshop after the DGA said the workshops are mandated by its collective bargaining agreements.
Hmm. I mean, who knows what's going on at Warner Brothers anymore, right? That company is going through a very strong transition that I don't think they know how to handle at the moment.
I don't know if that has anything to do with this. I think this, from what I understood from this, they're talking about the videos or workshops about diversity and inclusion and all that. Like, have you ever worked a job that just shows you all these videos about this? It's like
About
what's
like
appropriate in the
that,
workplace and everything.
yeah.
I think they decided to stop doing it, but then the union says no, these are mandated because we want better workplaces.
Oh, I see. I see.
I don't know who to go with because I hate watching these videos. They're so weird and awkward.
They are a little weird and awkward. They are a little weird. I just hadn't realized that Warner Bros. Stopped doing that. But I mean, okay.
I mean, who pays attention to these videos though? Like, I swear, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
those
usually
times,
kind of skip through those.
I skip through them when I can, or I'm just on my phone. Like, I'm getting paid to watch these videos.
I say I'm like, yeah, just don't be racist, and then
Yeah. I got the gist of this. I have lived my life.
you know, if you write a racist something, people will generally not like it. If you write a sexist something, people will generally not like it. In this
I'm
modern
just gonna
age,
plug
at
that
least,
real quick.
what I mean?
All right, but another thing is, um, apparently Networks. Apparently, reports are coming that Cartoon Network was going to be shut down after 30 years and be merged with Warner Bros. And then Cartoon Network went onto Twitter, was like, no, we're still alive. We're still happening. We still have shows, guys.
That was a very interesting moment. And then people are like, "Oh, Warner Bros. Saw this," and they were like, "Yo, tell them never mind."
Maybe who knows? We can never know when these things are just reportedly. This could be true, could not be true.
It's kind of sad to see that Warner Bros. Has such a tainted name at this time, at this point in time, or like just the idea that like anything they touch would just dissolve into trash.
Like Titan season 4 trailer.
I'm trying to remember if I actually watched that
I
trailer.
did not watch it. You guys, someone posted it in our Discord. I didn't have to watch it. I was like, I already know Titan season 4 is a thing. It exists.
Yeah, I don't think I actually watched the trailer. I did post it, but I don't think I actually watched it.
We already know it's gonna be a dumpster fire that we're gonna be watching week to week, and it's probably gonna come up with great clips of us making fun of it.
Yeah,
This is why he's still around and stays alive.
it's for people like me to love to hate and have some purpose in their life because they're hating on this show.
Well, how are we feeling? Apparently, the MPAA originally gave Black Adam an R rated, so cuts had to be made to make it PG-13.
I see that. After watching the movie, I can definitely see that. As a matter of fact, after watching the movie, it made me realize that the Venom Carnage movie, they just didn't try hard enough. They didn't try hard enough.
They didn't try hard enough.
They
You
didn't try
could have been a little bit rougher, guys, and
Yeah.
still not got the R rating.
They didn't try hard enough.
All right, how about Dwayne Johnson has confirmed there's plans to make a Superman versus Black Adam movie?
I am all for that.
First of all, Dwayne Johnson, you have your own hero to fight that you haven't fought yet. You haven't even mentioned him.
That is true. Everyone's like, "Oh, yo, Black Adam versus Superman." I was like, "Yo, Shazam!" Like, Shazam is literally your opposite. Like that, you have to fight him.
You guys are each other's antithesis. Come on. Are we just gonna ignore each other the entire time in the universe?
Right.
But apparently a new Superman movie with Henry Cavill is now in the works.
I'm actually excited for that. I'm actually happy.
I don't care. I don't care enough.
I think with a new writing team, different direction, I feel like, because I didn't hate Man of Steel. I actually enjoyed watching Man of Steel. I think I've said that before. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I do think I would like to see a different Superman, a different take on him. I think, I don't think Zack Snyder is going to be leading Man of Steel 2, right? So I'm excited to see a different, storyline. Besides, I think we need a Superman movie, in all honesty, because I feel
like it's been a long time. It might just need time for us to do something new and different.
Yeah, a nice Superman movie, something closer to Man of Tomorrow than anything.
Yeah, that'll be nice. We'll see if Henry Cavill has it in him.
I think he'll make a good Superman. I don't think he was ever a bad Superman. I think the things around his Superman were bad, but I don't think he was ever a bad Superman.
We'll find out. So we got apparently a script for The Flash 2 has been written.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I think they're probably fairly confident in the Flash movie. It doesn't necessarily mean Ezra Miller is going to be in it.
Yeah, because apparently he's pleaded not guilty to burglary charges, and if convicted, will face up to 26 years in prison in Vermont. So yeah, just in case that happens, there are rumors that they're kind of eyeing George McKay as a top contender to replace Ezra Miller as the Flash. I wonder if they're going to replace him anyway, even if Ezra does not go to prison.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
You've already been a loose cannon. We're going to replace you either way if you win or lose this case.
Ezra's been way too, wow. I think Warner Brothers needs to, as much as they can, I think they want to try to, put out the fires that have been surrounding the DC universe while they can. So I just don't think there's, escaping Ezra not being recasted as the Flash.
Do you know who George McKay is?
No.
I have no idea who this guy is.
But I'm sure once we look up the discography, we're going to be like, oh, wow, hey.
He was Lance Corporal Schofield in 1917. I don't think I saw this one. He was Bodovan in Captain Fantastic. Never heard of this.
That was Captain Fantastic.
He played Curly in Peter Pan in 2003. I don't know this guy. Let me actually say movies I might know.
I don't think I know any of these movies.
Yeah, no, I have no idea who this dude is.
Maybe TV shows?
No, because I'm looking at all of it. I don't know who this dude is. I don't even think I've heard of these TV shows. The Brief, Rose and Maloney.
You know what? Even besides that, Warner Brothers, I think time shenanigans makes it the perfect time that maybe we just transition to Wally West, Leave that horse alone and just move on to something different.
Well, leaving the Flash, Batman 2 is finally and officially moving forward over at Warner Bros. Discovery. Not only that, there are talks of other projects connecting to it, ranging from Scarecrow, Clayface, and even Professor Pig in the early stages of development.
Super excited about Clayface. super excited about Clayface, and I think with the style of movie that they're doing with the Batman series, at least from what I've seen from the first one, I think we are in for some pretty good surprises. I think Matt Reeves is doing a great job. I think he'll continue to do a great job.
I think Scarecrow, Clayface, all great ideas. Makes sense. I'm kind of wondering who thought Professor Pig. I mean, it's gonna be a good horror movie, but like, still, out of all of them, like Professor Pig was one of the top three I'm gonna name right now.
Hey, maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. Maybe they just have an idea that they really want to show.
Or they just saw the Winnie the Pooh horror film. It was like Piglet could be just like Professor Pig.
That is a possible option, yeah.
All right, so apparently James Gunn is reportedly developing a new mystery DC project.
Go for it.
Go for it, yeah.
I enjoyed the Suicide Squad. I've enjoyed Peacemaker. Go for it. Do whatever you want. You know what I mean? James Gunn has my approval. I think he's really good at making funny team movies. Team, not team, just in case someone tries to attack with that. Team movies. So I wouldn't mind him taking another spin on another hero, you know, with his, because he actually does tasteful comedy. So,
all right. So apparently, Warner Bros. Discovery has officially canceled a DCEU solo Zatanna film, but Dua Lipa is still going to be in the talks to portray the magician in future projects.
I think they kind of have a framework they're aiming for right now. More or less, I think they have like a rough idea of the kind of movies they want to make, and probably say they like the idea of Zatanna, but I don't think they wanted to give her own film just yet. So I could see that being the case. You know what I mean?
Does Dua Lipa act? I know she's a artist, right? But
I'm sure she's probably like acted before, but maybe that's why they don't want to give her a movie as well. Because I guess I mean, I don't know. Maybe Dua Lipa. I would have to check. I don't know anything she's been in, but I imagine she wouldn't just be selected for Zatanna off of her being Dua Lipa and nothing else.
All right. Dune 2 has moved forward its release date to November 3rd, 2023. Okay. I mean, it moved its date forward. That's fine. I didn't care about the first one. I know Mai enjoyed the first one. I forget where you sided on the first one.
I think it was a fine movie, but just not for me. I got a little bored, but there was definitely a lot of stuff that I enjoyed from it. But I got bored. It was too slow for me. But what can I say? I'm an action junkie.
All right. How about Harrison Ford has reportedly been cast as Thunderbolt Ross for Captain America: New World Order.
I love it.
That's fine.
Are
we gonna get him as Red Hulk?
Yeah, probably. And I love it. Beautiful.
What you might not love is Marvel shutting down pre-production on Blade as they continue their search for a new director and develop the script. So
I actually do like that. I mean, I like the idea of that they aren't just going to just spurn out a movie for the sake of spurning it out like they have been. I like the idea that, you know, Mahershala Ali even said like the movie they had where he was like garbage, not a great film. So they scrapped it and they're going to push it back later and try to work on it. I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, I don't need the movie right now if you're not going to give me a Blade movie worth my time. At least one that could match the energy of the original Blade we got, which, if we remember correctly, Blade is what started Marvel movies like that anyways. So.
Okay. Well, while Blade's getting put on hold, we're getting She-Hulk Season 2 now in the works at Marvel Studios.
Disgusting, but whatever. Maybe they can do a better spin on it. I don't know. My thing is She-Hulk was a show that I didn't enjoy, but I could see potential in. So maybe in season 2, they'll actually try harder on making like an actual funny comedy show using like the interesting narratives that they can use and have learned some lessons from season one. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm excited. I'm gonna just tell you I can see it. I probably may try it when season two comes out, but season one's still garbage. I don't care when it was us.
I'm gonna need to see some changes done if I'm going to season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel Zombies is gonna be 4 episodes long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's like the what if stuff. I don't care about the what if stuff.
Hey, it's whatever to me. You know, it can be 4 episodes long as you give it enough time to flesh out the story. If you can flesh out the whole story in 4 episodes, power to you. Doesn't bother me. Isn't it also rated R?
I don't know. I can't tell you.
I feel like I remember seeing that it was rated R.
But Marvel probably has plans for TVMA projects for Disney Plus, so maybe it's one of them.
That's what I meant to say. TVMA. I mean, I also it's a zombie something. So you know, it's kind of hard to do PG-13 zombies. I'm not saying you can't do it, but like, come on.
But we're also getting a Silver Surfer project, which will developed by Marvel Studios as a special presentation. So maybe nothing too grand, just like a little special. I don't know.
I love how special presentations are just half movies. These movies they don't want to fully go all the way in with. So it's just like it's gonna be a special presentation. But hey, whatever. I'm excited. I like the Silver Surfer.
I don't know much about the Silver Surfer to know what you would do with him without like the Fantastic Four, honestly.
I'm sure I'll think of something.
Well, Jeff, did you ever watch the WWE growing up?
I did. Not
do you
much,
remember?
I did.
Do you know who the rated R superstar is?
No.
No. Okay. So there's a WWE wrestler known as the rated R superstar Edge. And Edge will be playing Ares in the Percy Jackson series.
I knew Edge.
Okay. You didn't know his nickname was the rated R superstar?
No, I didn't know that. Unfortunately, I feel like a sham. Definitely excited. Hey man, wrestlers can act. They can act.
Some of them can act.
I
feel like
no.
I remember there was a time period where there were a lot of them were trying to get into acting after like The Rock, and not all of them worked that well.
Yeah. So far, you know what? We got The Rock. John Cena has been doing good. Batista has been doing good. You know, that's all I have for now.
No, but I remember there are other movies. I remember Triple H was like a bus driver for like some movie.
I remember Triple H in a different movie as well.
I remember one with like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I remember The Miz has been in like a Marine movie.
Okay, maybe he'll do a good job.
But along with that, we got other Percy Jackson news. There's going to be a new book in the series called Percy Jackson and the Olympians: The Chalice of the Gods.
That's exciting. I haven't read the Percy Jackson series in a while. Maybe it's time to get back into it. It was definitely
I am sure I have not read them all. I feel like at some point I got too old for the series, probably.
I have not read them all, that's for sure.
All right, so we're getting an Invincible video game in development, apparently.
Okay. It's kind of hard for me to be like super excited because I don't even know what the game would be like.
I don't know either. But apparently Minecraft is getting a Batman DLC world.
I saw that. I was like, wow, okay.
I didn't even know Minecraft had like DLC stuff. I thought people just made stuff in Minecraft.
I think it's the Minecraft Adventure or whatever. There's like an adventure mode, so I think it's probably one of those. But hey, or was it not? Maybe it's not called adventure. I think it's called story mode or whatever. But hey, I like Minecraft. I like Batman. I'll take both.
I never played Minecraft, so
never played Minecraft. That's surprising. It's a peaceful game when you're not being exploded by green genitalia.
All right, so new report says the Yu-Gi-Oh creator died trying to save others from drowning from a riptide.
He was a great man. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Moving on. Iono has revealed her ace Pokemon. It is going to be a new Pokemon known as Bellybolt, an electric frog Pokemon.
They've escaped the rodent, the electric rodent.
Right? I mean, we saw an electric rodent in one of the trailers already called Palmy. It's just the electric gym leader will not have an electric rodent as her ace Pokemon.
Let me see what this frog looks like. I don't even know if I'm spelling that right. I'm gonna assume that because I'm seeing an image of something. Oh, it's this thing. That's it looks like a plush. Does Pokemon know what frogs look like?
Does Pokemon know what frogs look like?
It looks like a toy. It doesn't look like like it doesn't look like a frog. I can tell you that much.
Let me bring this up. Share screen. So yeah, here we have Bellybolt. If you can look over here at the top of its head, we have these round things that look like eyes, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Those are not eyes. These are its eyes right here. That's
very off-putting.
So
I feel like they just didn't know what animal or what to call this, so they just said a frog.
It's kind of cool because it looks like it does like the little Tesla coil effect in its belly for it to like store energy and everything.
Oh yeah, I think it's cool. It's definitely not a frog.
And it has a new ability called Electromorphous, where if it gets hit first, it boosts the next electric attack it uses.
That's actually really cool.
So hopefully it's pretty tanky and can just beat people up that way.
Still doesn't look like a frog. Looks like a weird toy.
All right. So we also got G4 TV has shut down again.
I've never actually watched G4 TV, so I don't even know what to say about that. What about you, actually?
I watched it when it was on cable, like when I was like in like middle school or high school, I think. But I didn't watch it when it came back on Twitch.
Yeah. Believe it or not, people, I'm not on Twitch like that, so I never watched it.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something people would normally just watch. I feel like they want to watch their already favorite content creators like me when on Twitch, and maybe not just like a show. I guess a TV show which has different programs.
Hey, who knows, man? I don't know. Cable TV is going through its own scenario.
How do you feel about Instagram allowing you to play music on your profile?
It was going to happen eventually. One of them was going to do it.
We're reverting back to MySpace. Did you ever have a MySpace?
Nah, I think that's a little before me. Just a little bit.
All right, so we're just gonna relive MySpace. Next thing you know, we can rank our friends as like our best top 5 friends, 10 friends, however we feel like it.
I think my true social media that was around my dawn was Twitter. So
no, we have to list through things. We had MySpace. I think after MySpace, I guess Twitter came up after MySpace, and then Instagram came around. Google Plus tried doing its own little thing.
You really schmoozed over Facebook.
I forgot about Facebook. Yeah,
like it's not one of the bigger ones.
But nowadays we also have Parler, which apparently is being bought by Kanye West.
Kanye is going through his Kanye is just being Kanye. What can I say? It's hard for me to say anything he does is questionable because I know that he has like a serious mental problem. So I just like, Kanye is just doing whatever Kanye wants.
I feel like we can only let him get away with that for so much, though.
Yeah, but again, we can only shine light on it for like so much to do what.
But yeah, any plans on moving to Parlor? Because I have no plans of using Parlor.
No, I think I went on Parlor like one time ever, and I was like, this feels weird, and I deleted my account immediately.
Sounds good. I'll be a little bit more worried if you are actively on Parlor.
No. I think like it was like a YouTuber was like on it that I liked. Not a YouTuber I like that much, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm willing to try new things. So I went on it and I was like, this feels weird. Let me get off this.
I feel like any social media site will be weird if you don't have friends on it. And
Yeah.
from what I hear, Parlor is just Twitter for the right wing people who are super crazy.
Yeah, so no need to be there.
All right, that takes care of the news for the week. Now moving on to the media. What are we going to talk about first?
Oh, let's get Rings of Power out the way.
All right.
Let the sway.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Haxley, here. Today I'm joined by Dr. Jeff, and we're going to be talking about The Rings of Power, now streaming on Amazon Prime, and the finale already came out. All right. So, finale, how we feeling? How we thoughts? What are our thoughts?
In my opinion, the finale was pretty weak.
I agree. It's really just like setting up for things down the road. Maybe season 2. If anything, it's just setting up for the movies, which we got like 20 years ago.
I just kind of sat there and I was like, I think season 2 will be a lot better. But as for a conclusion, like it just didn't feel like, I think they were banking on reveals. Like the reveals, oh, this is this and this is this. I was like, oh, you know who this is. I think they were banking too hard on that, thinking that would be like, oh, people would be like, oh my God, what a finale. And then they forgot that they have to actually put interesting stuff going on there. I think there were interesting scenes in it.
Yeah.
But
we got those 3 women fighting the old big tall guy with the half-foots. That was this episode, right?
Yeah. Which I don't care for the Hardfoots at all. So,
It's okay. It looks like they're separating. The pack of half-foots are going one way, and then the one girl is going off with the giant man. I don't know if I know his name.
We know who it is. They didn't say the name, but we know who it is.
Okay.
Well, I guess you don't. You didn't watch Lord of the Rings.
I didn't watch Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or any of these things.
But the rest of us know who it is.
So I don't know what's going on. We know he's not Sauron because the witches thought he was Sauron. And I think he just said, no, I'm the other one. Like, what does that fucking mean?
He's not Sauron.
I don't even know what Sauron was in the first place.
He's just the evil. Yeah, maybe you should watch the movies, actually. Maybe now's the time, They're on HBO. Or are they on something else now? They might be. I know they're on Prime. They're definitely on Prime now. Prime Video.
All right. So, aside from what's happening in the Half-Foots, what else is happening, I guess, with the human side? At this point, this is when the queen said she wants revenge.
Yes.
For losing her eyesight, I guess, and to men and everything.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know if that was in the finale or it was the episode before, but at least for I still will say the queen losing her eyesight, the reveal of that was it was pretty well done. I think
Yeah,
it's pretty nicely done.
that reveal was done in the episode prior with them going through the smoke. It's like how much longer to wear out of the smoke, and then being quiet.
But yeah, I just didn't really care that. Okay, so the queen's going back. She's gonna get an army. Whatever. I think the big reveal, the most interesting thing. I don't even know if it's most interesting. I don't know. It wasn't that there because we didn't see much Durin, and I feel like he adds like a lot of flavor to the show. It was just Elrond, which Elrond was doing fine.
Yeah,
Because he was just a
I
good
don't know. I don't
character.
remember if Doran was in this. I think he did his thing. He got the mithril for them, and then the elves and everything just had to figure out a way to forge it into something and make it into an alloy.
Yeah, and these rings will somehow save the tree.
Yeah, so they're gonna go with rings, but not just one ring, not two rings, but we're gonna go with three rings to kind of have like checks and balances.
Which I'm sure they thought was like the most fire line ever. Man.
And then the ending had like a theme song talking about like 9 rings to humans, 7 rings to elves, or something. What? I thought there were 3 rings. Where are all these rings coming from in this song?
Well, there are more rings. There's 3 rings for the elves.
Oh,
There's 3 rings for the elves, and then like I think the dwarves get a good amount. And so there's other lore there, but
it's like what the fuck? I thought there were 3 rings. Why are you saying there are 9 rings for humans? Where these other 6 rings come from, and then all these other rings for the elves and dwarves and halflets or whatever?
I'm just happy the rings finally made an appearance. It's like this show is Rings of Power, but we haven't gotten anywhere near a ring yet.
It took a whole season, but we got there. We got some rings.
We got 3 rings.
Season 2, we'll get more rings. Maybe we'll get the other 9 for the humans.
Yeah. But yeah, the big reveal was guy that a lot of people suspected to be Sauron was Sauron. Which is interesting. I remember. I think the writers said that they are going to write Sauron in season 2 to have like a transition, kind of like Walter White, which is weird for me.
Not sure what that means because I didn't watch Breaking Bad, but I'm gonna go with it.
Well, I mean, because in like Breaking Bad, Walter White is kind of like he starts off fine, but like he gets pushed. He puts himself in these situations where he gets pushed to being more, violent and evil in a sense as time goes on. But Sauron already has a history of being evil, and he seems like he's still pretty evil. So, but now people ship Sauron and Galadriel, so I guess that's a thing.
Yes, shipping her with like the person she wants most dead, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, all in all, the finale, like I said, it was an episode, but it didn't really feel like a finale.
Yeah, it definitely should not have been a finale. There really needed to be something more to it, not just a bunch of reveals. Because honestly, those could have just been episode 1 of the next season.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they should have ended it on the episode with the
battle, if anything, with the mountain exploding and everything.
Yeah, I could have just ended it there. Maybe like just push that to episode 8, put more stuff in between. Add some Elrond, some Durin, some more dwarf scenes or something. Maybe give me a dwarf episode. But it is what it is. We're starting to get our probable adventure party down the line. We got not Gandalf, Nori, and I'm sure they will eventually meet with, I don't know, Galadriel down the line. That's that. How'd you like
All
the
right.
series as a whole?
I was enjoying it for the most part. I was a little bit let down with like the last 2 episodes because like really nothing really happened. It was just like okay, this is leading somewhere. This is leading somewhere. We just had the finale. Where was this all leading to for this season? I'm sure this will be more enjoyable for people who know the lore and the history and everything. But I don't know. A lot of times I didn't care for any of these characters. I thought the dwarves were the most interesting race, honestly.
That I can agree with 100%. Makes me kind of wish we just had a show about dwarfs.
But yeah, I guess that's our podcast. That's us talking about the Rings of Power, now done over on Amazon Prime. We're gonna have to wait for season 2.
What's they're already working on?
Yeah. Adios, everyone. All right. What's next on our list? We want House, Werewolf, Black Adam.
You the Werewolf by Night.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's me, Haxley here, and today I'm joined by Dr. Jeff himself. And today we're gonna go into the spooky occult and talk about Werewolf by Night, now streaming over on Disney Plus. All right, so Werewolf by Night. All right, so this takes place in the Marvel Universe, MCU. We start off with narrators talking about the gods, super soldiers, and all that stuff, and then we move on to, I guess, a bunch of hunters coming together in some room. They're gonna talk about what is it? The Bloodstone? Is it called the Bloodstone?
Yeah.
Who's gonna get the Bloodstone? Because apparently the person who had it last is dead, and they will want it to go to the best hunter. So we got some monster hunters, and they're gonna show off who's the best hunter by hunting down some monster. What the monster is, we aren't told right away. They're just gonna go off and they're gonna look for it. Right? And or anything I need to add before moving on to the hunt?
No. The daughter returned. No one was happy about it, but she's still participating in the hunt.
Yes. If she's the best huntress, she's gonna get the Bloodstone. That's the rules. It doesn't matter who you are. You just gotta be the best. So yeah, everyone goes off in the hunt. Apparently, anything goes for the hunt because some of the hunters are trying to kill each other. Down the road, we find out the creature they're hunting is none other than Man-Thing.
Ted.
Is that his name, Ted?
Well, that's what they called him in
Okay.
the
I think you're right. But is that what he's also called in like the comics? Is his name like Ted?
I have no idea actually.
I don't know what Man-Thing is in the comics. I know what Swamp Thing is in DC Comics.
Let me look this up. Man-Thing. Yeah, Theodore Ted Salas.
Oh, okay. So he's just like Alec Holland and got turned into a monster.
I don't know the story of Man-Thing. Never watched the old movie. Never read any of those comics.
There was an old movie about Man-Thing.
Yeah. Pretty sure. Right?
I can't tell you. But yeah, okay, so they're hunting down Man-Thing. And Man-Thing grabs one of the hunters, and the hunter burns. Like, what the fuck just happened here, guys? I thought Man-Thing was a plant thing. Why is he burning people that he touches?
I don't know his power set, man. But there was a 2005 movie that did horrible. But carry on.
I thought it was gonna be an old movie, like
Yeah, I was confused at first because I didn't know what Man Thing is. Again, I'm not too well versed on the character, nothing like that. I just assumed, oh, it's the swamp monster because the Monster Hunter. So of course we have a swamp monster, and then I saw him melting people, and I was like, oh,
That doesn't
this is
seem
a
like
swamp monster melts people. Was I
not.
mad at it? No, but I was just like, that's an interesting skill to have. That makes you slightly stronger than your average swamp monster.
Yeah, I was like, I was not something I expect the swamp monster to have. Like, I expect him to hit people, maybe shoot out vines that go into people, control plant matter. Fire was not something I was expecting.
Yeah. But hey, so that's what was happening. But we find out that he's friends with main protagonist, male hunter Jack.
Okay, I don't remember this guy's name, so I'm glad you did.
I think they only said it once, so it's just Jack. I think. I never watched the old Werewolf by Night movie, so I apologize ahead of time. In the chaos, Jack and Alyssa, the female protagonist of the special, decide they're going to help each other.
Mm-hmm.
They help Man Thing escape, but in doing so, they find out that Jack is in fact a monster.
Yeah, because he touches the bloodstone, which causes pain to monsters. Would not hurt a normal person, but monsters. Bloodstone, very bad.
So they capture Alyssa and Jack. I think her name is Alyssa. I feel like I'm butchering that, but I apologize. They put him in a cage together. I'm not skipping anything, am I? Right? I don't think so.
I mean, obviously we're skipping things, but maybe nothing important. Like Man Thing escaped because they got some bombs. We had like a 5-minute scene of Jack trying to put the bombs on the wall and it just falling down.
Oh, yeah, they put Jack in there. He's trying to explain himself to Elsa, who just accepted her fate, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not like that person. I'm a monster, but I'm a human too. I'm only a monster on a full moon." Which hint, he's a werewolf. Hence the title of the series.
Yes, if you guys didn't figure it out already at this point, based on the title, I'm not even seeing a single werewolf like for 3/4 of the movie.
He thinks he has 5 days. She tells him he has 5 seconds because this Bloodstone's abilities are very wide and varying. So he decides he needs to sniff her a bunch so he can hopefully remember her. And then he pleads that they don't do this because they will not survive. Well, they do it. The lady comes in, puts a stone, forces Jack to transform, and he breaks out, unsurprisingly.
To no surprise to the audience, he gets out.
And as a werewolf, he is significantly stronger than just, I guess, a bunch of different monsters. So he murders all of the grunts while Alyssa handles all of the hunters. And then, yeah, cool action set piece of fighting. The lady uses the bloodstone on Jack and it's hurting him, and then Elsa kills her. No, it doesn't kill her, but like knocks the stone out of her hand, right? Just kind of knocks her down.
Possibly.
Allowing Jack to escape. Jack escape. Yes.
Does Man Thing break into the room and that's how they escape first?
No.
Oh.
Jack escapes, after realizing he remembers Elissa. And then the lady gets back up and is prepared to shoot Elissa. And then Man Thing comes and just destroys her.
Okay, and then Alyssa tells Man Thing that Jack went that way.
Yes. And then it goes from black and white to a color panel, and we get to see what Elsa looks like, who looks a lot different when she's not in black and white. And then we get to see Jack in color and Man Thing in color, which honestly the Man Thing looks pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, and they're kind of just sitting there talking, saying how they save each other's butts all the time.
So, and that's the special. Pretty much.
All right, so what were our thoughts? Did we enjoy it?
Yeah, it was all right.
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a good Halloween special.
It was.
I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting much. Well, I went in there really excited, and I think my overhyping this kind of led me to some disappointment. So I was a little disappointed because I was just like, this is whatever, because people are always like, oh yeah, this special was actually really good. Da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, Ben, I'm excited. But it was all right. It was nothing crazy. I shouldn't have gone in there expecting more from like a 55-minute presentation, but it was fun, Halloweeny, cool. I think the only real gripe I had is that Jack felt, at least when he transformed into the werewolf and he was killing people, he felt more man than wolf.
He did look more man than wolf, honestly, yeah.
Not even like look-wise. Like look-wise, yes. That bothered me a lot. I was looking at it, I was like, okay, you look kind of weird. But I mean, maybe that's how he just looks in the comics, so I didn't get that mad about it. But like also just how he was like fighting and killing people, it just seemed very human. I don't know if they like choreographed that themselves, which is, I mean, if they did, it's fine. But it just didn't feel like a werewolf like running around. Like he was doing like flips and shit, like off the wall, and you know what I mean? It felt like he was doing martial arts, which was weird for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Other than that, it was fine. It was just a horror action comedy. Less horror, but horror action comedy. I was kind of hoping for a jump scare too. I didn't get that, but it's fine.
All right, so I guess that's our talk about Werewolf by Night over on Disney Plus. Go ahead and check it out before the Halloween season's over. It could be your Halloween movie of the year. Maybe Hocus Pocus will be it, which we have. I haven't watched at least.
I haven't. I heard great things about it though.
But yeah, that's it. I'm Haxie. This is Dr. Jeff. See you next time, guys. Adios. All right, so House of Dragon or Black Adam?
I'll let you pick that one.
Let's go with House of Dragon, and we'll end the night with Black Adam.
Sounds good.
All right, so 2 episodes. So the one where Damon cuts off the head of the other guy, leaving the tongue, and then this one where we got everyone looking for Aegon. Right?
I don't even remember the episode before this one like that. But yeah, I'm down. Let's just talk about it.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Hexley, here today. I'm joined by Dr. Jeff, and we're talking about the second to last and third to last episodes of House of the Dragon over on HBO Max or on HBO if you're watching this live when it comes out. But yeah, so we weren't live last week, so we have 2 episodes to talk about. I guess first things first. Rhaenyra and Daemon, uncle and niece, married with 2 children already?
Yes. 2 kids. So clearly there's been a great time skip.
Yeah.
As we can see from the fact that Viserys is practically a corpse.
Practically a corpse. with like an iron mask covering like half his face, which we'll see what's underneath later. You should never show that at a dinner table ever again.
Yeah, not while people are eating. So, I'm trying to remember this episode really well. I need to start taking notes.
I don't know what else, anything important happened afterwards, but like, everyone got together. They're doing some. I don't remember why they all got together, but it's been put to question. Uh, the blood of Rhaenyra's children, that they're not Valarians, that they are bastards.
Which they are.
So they shouldn't have any claim to the throne of, I think, Driftmark. I think they're discussing Driftmark, honestly.
Yes, they're just so. I believe what it is the king of Driftmark, Corlys, has apparently been mortally wounded, and they don't know where he is. I guess because he, in his depression, he just went off and fought a bunch of pointless wars.
Yeah.
I guess the Stepstones who are now rising again for battle.
That sounds about right. So, yeah, something happened to him, so Driftmark needs a new ruler, and it's not going to go to his younger brother. It would go to one of his kids who are both dead, or both presumed dead. One presumed dead. Other one is definitely dead. So since they're gone, it has to be one of the grandchildren, and it would move on to Rhaenyra's child, who they don't think has any Valerian blood in them. And they will be right.
They would be correct. It's very obviously noted as he holds no features of any of the parents.
You didn't even inherit the white hair. Like, first of all, this is the first mistake y'all all have. Both parents have white hair. Where does black hair come from? All the grandparents have white hair.
So, the brother-in-law feels it's an issue. So Rhaenyra is freaking out because I guess it would be a political loss for the son to be overstepped. So she goes to King's Landing to plead for her father's assistance. Obviously, Otto the Hand and Alicent are rooting for the Driftmark to go to the brother-in-law. I always forget her name, but the sister of Viserys.
Okay.
Isn't a fan of either of them.
Rhaenyra? I think it's just Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra, yeah. She's not a fan of either of them.
It got so confusing because it's Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra.
Yeah. But she's not a fan of either of them. So, Rhaenyra goes and asks her for her aid first, and she's like, well, fuck you. So she goes to the king, her father, and pleads. And then they see that he is pretty much just high off Poppy all the time because he's always in constant pain. And they question Alicent and the Hand's hand in that. Basically saying that, with him drugged up, you guys get to rule. Which it makes for an interesting interpretation because you can see for Alicent, at least, it's more so just because the king is always in pain.
Yeah, like your options are him in chronic pain because like he does not look in the greatest condition.
No.
If anything, he should have. I don't know if stepping down is an option the king's gonna have, but like he probably should have just stepped down and just gave the power to whoever he wanted to, and like go on and build his like Lego room.
Yeah. So, what is it? The meeting is happening. Everyone's discussing who the king or queen, who the king should be of Driftmark. They're bringing up their points, and the king decides, "No, I'm gonna come for this one." He rejects the poppy, and he forces himself there in the midst of the argument. And he makes some very valid points. He first says, one, this is a matter we've already discussed, so I don't see why we're going into it. And then he says, but if we are going into it, the only person whose opinion matters is the lone lady of Driftmark, his sister, Rhaenyra. I believe that's how it went, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So he just straight up asked, he said, Rhaenyra, what do you think? And she, to the surprise of everybody, says that Rhaenyra's children should be Rhaenyra's son. I think it's Jace.
I think so. Jason, Luke, or something like that.
Yeah, but I think Jace specifically is going to inherit it. So Jace will take the throne. This pissed off Corlys's brother, very much so. So he expresses his discomfort with the decision and starts dancing around the topic of why they can't be king. And Viserys is looking pretty pissed off, and then you have Daemon in the background, excited on the matter, and just sits behind him and says, "Say it." So the brother says it. He exposes, or doesn't expose, but blatantly says treason and says that the kids are bastards, which they are.
Yeah.
But you can't say that. And swiftly, Daemon goes and chops off the treasonous.
Whoa. First, Viserys says he wants his tongue. And then Daemon chops off his head and says he can keep his tongue.
Yes. In which, in that moment, I was like, okay, Daemon. That was pretty cool.
And then one of his nephews, what are their names again? Aemon and
Aemon, the one with the eye patch is Aemon.
Okay.
The older one is Aegon.
Aemon looks impressed by Daemon throughout this whole episode.
And, you know, that happens. A fight is about to ensue. And Viserys quickly says, enough, blah, blah, blah. He tells everyone to shut up, calm down. We're going to have dinner tonight. And so I believe it switches over to a dinner. Everyone's in attendance. It's very tense. People are a little agitated. Aegon is, I guess, pissing off Jace.
Yes. But saying like how strong he is, how he admires how
no, that's Aemon later.
Okay.
I think Aegon is just pissing off Jace because he's getting married.
Oh.
He's doing the typical tease. Because Aegon at least isn't. Well, no, he is. He's very problematic. We've already seen that. But in this situation, he's not the douchebag of the table like that. Like, he's a bully, but like the bully. Aegon's poking fun at Jace. Jace is getting pissed off. Yeah, Aegon is poking fun at his wife. His new wife, basically. Jace's new wife.
Who's his wife again? He's marrying
the granddaughter of the Valerians.
Okay, like Daemon's kid, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's stepsister.
Who knows? So they're getting married. Blah blah blah. Everyone's celebrating. Small fight ensues over it, and Viserys comes down and sits, and he sets his piece. He expresses that he's tried so hard to protect this family, and they can't help but try to tear each other apart. He expresses this clearly. He even exposes his mutilated face,
Something we should never see again.
very decayed face, missing an eye and so forth. So
Pretty much just a skull right there on his.
it was quite the sight. Quite the sight, but I was like, you know what? Bold move. They had to hear that. They had to say it. It's what I like to say. I know some people were like, oh, he finally said something, but I feel like he's been screaming that for like the longest. But he finally gathered them all together and just put his point out like that. So the lady Allison, who we can confirm very much loves Viserys, very much so, is the first to, no, or is it Rhaenyra? Who's the first one to put out the olive branch?
I can't remember.
Damn, that's kind of sad. I think Rhaenyra is the first one to put out the olive branch. Basically, she's like, there's in her absence, there's only been one person to care for her king, for the king, and Rhaenyra admits it's Alicent, and Alicent puts her glass up and cheers Rhaenyra and says she'll make a fine queen one day, and so forth and so forth. And they finally, put the matter to bed, which pleases Viserys, and he realizes he's too sick and needs to go to bed, so he heads to bed. All is well. Rhaenyra and Alicent are talking. Rhaenyra's, Rhaenyra and Alicent are talking. The family is for the most part getting along, and then Aemon, as soon as Viserys leaves, is a breeder of chaos, gets up and says, "And a cheers to Jace's marriage. May he show how strong we are."
And pretty much just that over and over again, just like how strong. Just keep putting strong as much time as he can, because strong is the person everyone suspects to be his true father.
Jace is about to fight, but Rhaenyra and Alicent shut it down and tell them to go. And so they go. Rhaenyra is gonna fly to Dragonstone, but Alicent's like, "Oh, you should stay longer." Rhaenyra is like, "I'll fly back on Dragonback." And then an unfortunate ending occurs. Alicent goes to visit Viserys in his bed. And as we all know, Viserys is very sickly.
Yeah.
So,
and not fully there, not in the right of mind.
He fully believes he's talking to Rhaenyra and expresses that, I saw Aegon being king in my dream, so forth, so forth. But it's kind of a conversation. It's a continuation of the conversation they last had before he was very sickly. I think like the episode before that, where they're talking about the Dance of Fire, and I believe it's the Dance of Fire and Ice.
Mm-hmm. I think Dance of Ice and Fire or something.
Yeah,
actually.
Dance of Ice and Fire.
People keep saying Fire and Ice, and I think people are like, no, it's actually this one. Like, that one doesn't sound as interesting.
Yeah. But he's talking about like the old King Aegon, not, their young Aegon, not his son. And which honestly, I don't even know why Alicent took any credibility in any of what he said, because like he was saying so much that she would not know anything about. So I don't know why she was like, "Oh, he means Aegon will be king." That's my personal opinion. But Alicent hears that and believes, "Oh, the king wants Aegon to be king." And then Viserys passes away.
Yep, and she tells people, and she makes a meeting and everything, and she finds out apparently there's been like a cabal of people pushing for Aegon to be king. It's like, what is this madness? Why was there a group of people that have been trying to get him to be king that I'm not part of? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about this?
Which she was very pissed off about, as were other council members who were like, yo, this is treason. Or not even treason, but, it was a very problematic situation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, she expresses that, she's sad the king died because she can't even put it forth. They're like, oh, we're just going to crown Aegon anyways. The rest of the student council gets split. Everyone's concerned. One of the guys is even like, no, we can't do that. We're going off of the word of what you just said. On conveniently as the king dies on his deathbed, wishing that Aegon is king, even though his root is stoutly for Rhaenyra to be queen after his death. One of the guys goes as far as to say, who's to say you guys aren't the ones who killed him? You are, specifically Alicent was the one to kill him, as she is the last person to see him, and immediately is saying something that he's been contradicting for years, which, is a very reasonable take to have.
Reasonable assumption.
It's like, it's not that far-fetched a statement to make. It's not what happened, but it's still very far-fetched. Sir Kristen Cole, of course, gets very emotional and immediately bashes the dude's head in, and he dies. In which case, the head Kingsguard asks for. This is a part that I think the episode glossed over, which actually was kind of funny to me. But as soon as Kristen Cole killed him, he was like, "All right, you have to resign. Give me your cloak." But they kind of just glossed over that because I guess they were talking about, oh, we're just not gonna tell anyone that we're gonna make Aegon king. We're just gonna inaugurate him right there.
Yeah, and the Kingsguard says they serve the king, and there's no king right now, so they're not gonna do anything.
Because like most reasonable people in that situation would be, they would be like, "That's fucking ludicrous." So, all types of shenanigans are going. People are looking for Aegon because apparently he went missing. Alicent wants to find Aegon first, so Otto can't spill his head with knowledge, fill his head with nonsense, because he wants Otto to take up arms against Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically have that family killed, which is, again, absurd.
So a whole search goes by where they go visit every place of debauchery they can, from
a brothel.
A brothel. I was like, what's the word for it? I was gonna say whorehouse, but I was like, there's a better word that I should use.
Yeah. They go to a brothel, a child
fight ring,
where they find out that Aegon actually has a bastard. Funny enough.
Yeah. Probably go to a few other places, but yeah, they were like, oh, we just don't know that many places of debauchery like he does.
Which was also a very interesting scene, because we see that Sir Eric, one of the Knight's Guards, the King's Guard who is meant to watch Aegon, doesn't actually like him at all, because he's seen how Aegon is.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what Aegon has done, and he doesn't think of Aegon to be fit to be king. And we also learn during this search that Aemon feels that he deserves to be king.
Yeah, he's the one who studies history, philosophy, practices the sword, while his older brother does whatever he wants, all sorts of terrible things, from raping women, going to sex houses and everything.
Watching child fighting.
Yeah.
So Aegon, some strange lady approaches Aegon saying, or some strange lady approaches the
the two
Kingsguard
twins. Yeah.
looking for Aegon, says, "Oh, I have him. Just bring Otto." They bring Otto, and on the other side, Larys has a conversation with the Queen. No, that's before. That's way later. So they go to get Aegon, and I guess Sir Cole or one of them notices that they have Aegon after they find him. Aegon doesn't want to go. So forth, and a fight ensues between the two search parties. Sir Eric, as we learn, doesn't really like Aegon. Dips. He just leaves. Sir Criston Cole, not outnumbered, wins. They get Aegon. They bring it back to Alicent. Let's see. Larys then meets with Alicent later that night and says, if you give me something, I'll give you some information on how they were able to discover the location of this person and how they were able to find Aegon first and know where to track them and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess just bit by bit, Alicent shows him her feet.
Yeah, this guy loves those grippers.
He's a feet man, a foot guy, so to speak. And Larys expresses that there's like a network of maids and whatnot interlined everywhere that just gather information for the Hand, Otto.
Yeah, including her main maid, Alicent's main maid.
And she's like, oh wow. Sir Eric then realizes all this is nonsense. We forgot to mention that they did walk up Rhaenyra for some reason because they are outing all the people who wouldn't be loyal to Aegon.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't kill her because obviously she's the freaking queen of Driftmark at the moment. So they just kept her locked up, but they killed like other nobles who were loyal to Rhaenyra and so forth. I guess publicly hanging them just to make an example. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Sir Eric goes off to free Rhaenyra, and as they're fleeing, they notice that all the townspeople are being herded. Herded is the right word, right?
Yeah.
Shepherded to I guess the inauguration temple.
Whatever, a cathedral, a castle, whatever we want to call it, a church. Whatever the term is for this thing is.
Where they bring Aegon, and Otto makes the announcement, Aegon will be king. Viserys said it in his dying breath. When which I guess the people cheered. Like, ah. And amongst the inauguration, Rhaenyra gets to disappear. But anyway, people are cheering. Aegon looks like he's happy that people are cheering for him because he has been dealing with the fact that he doesn't believe he's worthy to be king. He knows his father didn't want him to be king. So forth. And just, yeah. And then to end that episode, Rhaenyra crashes down. Was it through the roof or through the front door?
The front door.
She flies through the front door and immediately lands on a bunch of townspeople with her dragon and kills a lot of them to just walk up to the throne with her dragon and basically flex that in this moment right here, she could kill them.
Yeah. She had the opportunity to end the series.
Yep. Conflict done right there. So, I know people are going to make statements about that during the finale or later on in the series. They're going to be like, oh, wow, she could have just ended the war. But yeah, I have to say, I think that was Well, yeah. So, but she chooses not to. She just kind of winks, flexes, takes her dragon, flies away, letting the High Towers know now that their army consists of their people and just one very big dragon. What did you think?
I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to see where this ends. What where we're going to the finale tonight. I've been avoiding the leaks.
I am extremely excited for finale. I actually really liked that last episode a lot. I was having a discussion with my girlfriend. She was like, "Oh, I didn't really like that episode that much. It was just, a bit different." I was like, "I liked it because it felt very tense, and I felt like it was just very, very tense." There were times where I thought Rhaenyra actually heard about Aegon and they captured Aegon and stuff like that, but yeah, obviously that's not the case. But it just felt very tense, and I liked the dragon appearing at that. I thought it was Rhaenyra at first who flew in because the episode before they're like, "Oh, I'll fly back on Dragonbag," so I thought like, "Oh, she heard and she wanted to make a point," but that's not how it went. Obviously, as we just explained, but it was just it was a really cool episode, very tense. I'm loving the series so far. They're doing a lot of things great, and I love it.
Yep.
Otto is a terrible person.
Yep. All right, so now on to Black Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, it's me, Haxley, here today. I'm joined by Dr. Jeff, and today we're talking about Black Adam, now showing in theaters near you. All right, so this movie came. We almost forgot about it entirely till like 2 days before it came out. Like, hey, Black Adam comes out. We have a podcast. We should probably try and watch this. Like, oh shit. Yeah, we found time to go see it. What are our initial thoughts and reactions without spoiling anything?
So I went in with semi-high expectations for the movie. I don't know why. I think it's because I just heard people praising it. I saw the audience scoring somewhat. So I was a little disappointed. But I will say I don't think it was a bad movie. Has issues.
I would kind of go with the opposite. I was going in not expecting much, especially since we kind of forgot it existed till 2 days before. And also, I don't have much faith in The Rock's acting ability. Like, he seems to play the same general characters a lot of the times. So I was like,
he plays The Rock.
He plays The Rock, so I was like, I don't know about Black Adam. But so yeah, I didn't go in going high. I think overall I enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating, I would say like maybe a high 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's surprising. I give it a 6.5. Not like 6.5, like, oh, it was bad, but 6.5, like, it is a very entertaining movie. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you there were not huge issues throughout that movie. Very entertaining, though. Very entertaining. I enjoy certain things, and any movie that can make Hawkman interesting while staying true to his character of being the punching bag.
I didn't know where you were going with this Hawkman thing. Like,
punching
bag makes sense. Punching bag makes sense.
That's great for me. But very like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed watching it. I don't feel like I wasted my money buying a ticket. Same time, I'm not going to tell people it's a movie they have to watch right now.
Yeah, I feel like same.
You should watch it in theaters. It's definitely like an in-theater movie, I think. That's how you do those action movies like that. But that's basically what the movie is, an action movie.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of explosions. There's going to be a lot of fight scenes. It's a lot of zapping of electricity. A lot of mutilated bodies, apparently.
The movie is very visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
If anything, I've had any complaints on some of the dialogue, and I think maybe a bit overuse of slow-mo.
Yeah, also, so there was one scene where the slow-mo was actually tasteful. And when we get more into the spoilers, I'll deal on that. But after that first scene, I was like, okay, now you guys are just do it over, but not too much. It wasn't like the original Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman, where it's just nothing but slow mo in almost every scene.
Like honestly, the Black Adam versus Hawkman in the bedroom scene did not need to be in slow motion at all.
Yeah, but very action packed, very visually pleasing. Some of the dialogue was, yeah. Some of the actors, mainly the younger kids, was.
I think just Atom Smasher. I honestly really liked Cyclone.
I don't even mean the heroes. I meant like the kid.
Oh, the kid was annoying.
That was. I was just.
And it brought me questions like, so obviously DC Comics is a thing. They have merchandise, they have posters, they have shirts and backpacks and everything. Are like any of the heroes getting any sort of residuals from any of this? Like, does Clark Kent get a paycheck every time someone buys like a comic book?
Probably not. The world doesn't know he's Superman, and I don't think he's the type of Superman to take any money from them, as he's still broke. So
he could be, bro. We don't know. He was dead, and I was back, and he has a home because Batman bought the bank.
Batman, I imagine, doesn't care. So Wonder Woman, I also imagine, just doesn't care, as they are both two very well-off individuals. The Flash, I don't know.
The Flash's Cyborg might need a job because I don't think the Flash. I don't think he even had a job. I think he was just like in between stuff.
Wasn't he stealing a lot too?
I think he was stealing a lot. Yeah.
And then Aquaman, he's the king of Atlantis, so I don't think he cares.
And then there's Shazam in foster care.
So I'm sure he buys a lot of his merchandise. But yeah. So getting more into spoiler territory. I did not like the kid. All of his scenes just felt bad. I like the idea behind the kid.
Yeah, like he's supposed to make Black Adam care because he's kind of like his son.
So
like overall, he was kind of annoying, giving Black Adam's terrible ideas. Like, do this catchphrase: "The Men in Black sent you."
Yeah, he was making most of the corny jokes, but like again, his acting also was just kind of like very noticeably not as good as everyone else's. Like when he's giving the speech in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I did like Cyclone and Atom Smasher, but they honestly served no point in this movie. They didn't do anything.
Yeah, they definitely didn't do as much as Dr. Fate or Hawkman, but boy, did Cyclone's like scenes look visually amazing.
Yeah, visually, gorgeous. Very weird because it's just supposed to be wind powers, aerokinesis, but they added their own little green smoky flare to it. But
is it supposed to be aerokinesis? Because like she's the granddaughter of Red Tornado, so Red Tornado has all the spinny thing.
I mean, she said it's aerokinesis in the movie.
But she also mentioned something about like nanites being injected to her body. I don't know.
Yeah, she was apparently abducted and had nanites injected into her body, which was cool. It was tasteful. It's kind of weird.
Aerokinesis only means moving air. It doesn't mean moving air with your mind. That would be like aero telekinesis or something.
I don't think so. Actually, I think it is just aerokinesis.
No, because what Aang does is aerokinesis because he's moving air.
Yeah, I mean it's just the ability to control air, but like I don't think people say aero telekinesis. Because it's still moving air with your mind. If you want.
No, because Aang doesn't move things with his mind. He's moving things with, I don't know,
using movements. His mind. But he uses the movements to help like control it, but it's still.
It's like she's doing the same thing pretty much.
Well, yeah, but that's why it's aerokinesis. But it's still like moving it with his mind. She's thinking about moving air, which causes the nanites to move the air, so it's with her mind. It's still. There's no aero telekinesis.
All right, moving on. Did we ever find out what Hawkman's origin is in this movie?
I wish we did because he's balling. He is like the Tony Stark of this series.
He, like, are they going with the reincarnation route where maybe he's like accumulated knowledge through every reincarnation, or is he an alien? Is he from Thanagar?
It seems like, given that him and Dr. Fate are like the older members, it seems like he's the live forever until he dies Hawkman.
Okay.
So that's what it seemed like to me. But like, I don't know. I feel like we need like a Hawkman movie or something because they have to explain him being that rich, that flexed out, like he's the leader of a team and everything like that. Like, come on, like we gotta dive into that.
Yeah, maybe we'll at some point we'll learn more about what he's done. But for now, I have no idea if he's an alien or he's just an Earthling who keeps getting reincarnated.
That being said, I loved him. He was great in this movie, and he's definitely the guy you want on your team. Persistent, even if everybody's whooping your ass. Persistent.
Like maybe 2% because he kept saying the same lines over and over again. Like, heroes don't do that. It's like, or when Anna Smasher does something bad, it's like, we're gonna talk.
Which I actually like. I enjoyed that. I like that. He's like, you and me. But I did like that he was just like, heroes don't do things like this and so forth. He was being honest. He's staying true to his code, which I felt like was the idea. That was their idea of conflict between the hero and the anti-hero.
With that being said, we also have to remember Batfleck exists and Superman exists in this universe, and they have definitely murdered people.
Yes. So it does. That's what kind of kills the anti-hero argument for this series, because when we're watching it, Black Adam only kills like terrorists. That's all we've seen him kill. Like, he's not killing like regular people and not like that. He just only kills terrorists, and he's just like, all right, murder them, which is anti-hero. But when all your heroes in your established universe already do that to an extent, minus the Flash, it kind of takes away from that point. But that's why Hawkman was there, to be like the contrast of the difference between what a hero is and what an anti-hero is, because that really is the only difference.
Yeah.
Anti-hero is final judgment. Hero is, we got to do it the right way. Don't kill him off right. Which I feel like they played it too well in some scenes, like between it's like, oh, this is why you don't immediately kill people. You need to interrogate them sometimes.
It's like, bring one of the hostages to me. I can like go into their minds. Like, you can do what now?
He's
Oh,
like,
you killed them all, didn't you? I was like,
you didn't make it.
You didn't make it.
I will say the Black Adam naturally is a very charismatic person. So when he was on the screen, it was great. Fantastic. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed him playing Black Adam. I don't think he makes a bad Black Adam. A little sad that it's just the Rock voice and not like an attempt of an accent, especially when everybody in his home country has an accent. Everyone in the past showing of him has an accent, and then he just sounds like the Rock.
This is true.
Nitpick, I know.
It's like the Super Pets all over again, where he played 3 different characters. All of them sound the same.
And I was just like, okay, so no one was gonna tell The Rock, hey, maybe you should just try to like at least have a bad accent, make an effort. But it doesn't matter. You can see in the movie that he was enjoying playing Black Adam.
Yeah, he's been working up to this for like a decade almost.
Now, I am not going to sit here and tell you that the story was good, because it was not. There was a lot of setup in like the first half that just got wasted in the second half. There was like no character development for anyone besides maybe Black Adam. And I guess a little bit for Hawkman, but no one else. Again, Cyclone and Adam Smasher, if you took them out the movie, nothing really would have changed. They didn't do anything. I like them. I think Adam Smasher was great. They didn't do anything. Like, even when they're fighting Black Adam and you see like Cyclone is down there and she's throwing poles but like in front of Black
She's
Adam.
trapping him.
I guess
That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess.
They're not trying to kill him. They're trying to stop him.
I guess, but like she can see him like run through buildings, and her idea is, I'm gonna throw a bunch of metal rods in front.
But it's one thing to run through a building. It's another thing if you're pretty much pinned and can't move to even build momentum.
I mean, it wasn't like a pinning though. Like she just threw him in front of him. Like
no, someone like behind her. Like it was like a whole cage almost.
But she's very well aware that he can fly.
True.
Which is how he got out. He flew up. Well, after being crushed by Atom Smasher, but he still flew up and then uppercutted Atom Smasher. But there was a lot of interesting concepts in the movie. Superhero jurisdiction, because the JSA just comes to Kahndaq and is like, yo, this guy's bad, and is making a mess of shit to try to capture it. And then, obviously the people are like, the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's like, we've been...
Intergang's been here for like a long time.
And you guys never appear, and you're here talking about international peace. What? Even I was like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? It's like, why is that what you're leading with?
I'm sure there's some country jurisdiction. Like, I'm sure they have like a king or prime minister or president that's like, no, I don't want the Justice Society. But when Black Adam shows up, blows things up, like, yeah, you can send the Justice Society now. Like, I'm sure there's bigger diplomatic things going on.
But, like I said, on the screen, The Rock was great. This movie does suffer from Marvel supervillain sickness, where you just have a poorly written villain who has had no development and no given motivation thrown to the screen to be beaten within like 10 minutes.
I mean, I can feel that, but I feel like, why would I need to give motivations to 6 demon generals?
I mean, because the 6 demon generals were in control. It was the last descendant of the king of Kahndaq.
Yeah.
Kahndaq.
Who wanted power. We got like a whole thing of development where
not really. King. It was very loose. I think it would have been better if they focused more on like the king's history, in the series, and then maybe talk like we could follow the villain just a little bit more, like just a little more. I'm not saying it like he didn't have any like motivation given or like he was the worst villain, but like you could have played on him a bit better rather than making him just the big bad guy in the end, because he is an evil king who wants to rule, but because he sees things differently than Black Adam does. But for the most part, like, come on.
If anything, when you said Marvel problem, I thought you were going to mention the fact that it's pretty much a villain with the same powers, where instead of like 7 gods, he 6 demon generals, and the fact that they kind of just kill him off in one movie.
Yeah, I mean that was but also the fact we've seen it in Eternals with the I forgot what they're called already. That's the
Celestials.
Not the Celestials, the beasts.
Oh, the Deviants.
Deviants, yeah. Seen it in Eternals with the Deviants. We saw it in Civil War with Zemo before they actually, expressed more of him. Yeah. We've seen it in Thor: Love and Thunder with
Gore the God Butcher?
Yeah, Gore the God Butcher. Just kind of, not necessarily bad villains, but they're not really shown any love that they should have for being like the ending villain of the 3rd act or like of the movie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't think he looked that bad.
He looked pretty cool. The Army of Dead was pretty cool. When the people rose up to fight them, and like one of the guys like, it's okay, I died by electricity, so I'm not gonna die here.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I did think I did laugh. I was like, wow, him opening up the underworld was pretty low scale because it's just like barely able to walk zombies that your average person could beat the crap out of.
Maybe there'll be more behind them. I don't know.
I was just kind of shocked. I was like, okay, this is kind of low scale, but all right, I get it. They want to make the people able to fight because it is about Kahndaq at the end.
Yeah. I also want to just mention one thing. Did you also think that they were just driving around the mystery machine?
Yeah. I didn't think about that until you just said it right now, but now that you say it, yeah.
I watched it with my brother, and in my head I was like, isn't that just the mystery machine's like color scheme? And my brother said it out loud. I was like, that's just the mystery machine, right?
I also want to say that it really feels like they nerfed the living shit out of Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Fate should have handled Sabak on his own. He's a pretty powerful sorcerer.
That's the kind of shit that he does. But I mean, I don't even want to say necessarily can be able to handle him on his own, but I feel like he should have put up way more of a fight against Black Adam and way more of a fight against Sabak than he did.
To be fair, he didn't fight Black Adam that much.
Yeah, he didn't, but like he kept saying it's like, oh, we can't beat this guy. And I was like, why do you say that? I mean, maybe he can't beat him. And it's probably because he sees the future, but like I feel like they just kind of nerfed him.
It could also just been like a fate thing where they can't beat him if they want like Hawkman to survive.
Yeah. But at least when he was fighting Sabak, I feel like he should have been dealing more damage. But maybe it would have been dealing more damage if they actually gave Sabak more than 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah. Sadly, Kent Nelson passed away, but we got to see Hawkman use some magic.
That was interesting and unexpected. Because that means Nobu was like, all right, I'll help you out. Also, a little disappointed I didn't get to hear Nobu.
Nabu,
yeah. But a little disappointed I didn't get to hear him. I mean, I think we heard him when they first appeared because he was like, when Dr. Fate first appeared, he's like, you have no place on this earth, so you can either live or you can either be captured or die. And I was like, okay, that sounds like Nabu. But like after that, I was like, oh, kind of sad we didn't get to hear, him interacting with Kent or nothing like that. Just and the helmet disappeared. I was like, why?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's gonna go find a new magic user. I wonder who it's gonna pick.
They should just let it fly. I mean, it's gonna be Sataro, but this is just like...
No, I don't. I feel like Zatara only ever had it in Young Justice. Honestly,
Zataro?
Yeah.
No, I think Zataro has it. He gets it in the comics as well. I'm pretty sure Kent Nelson is supposed to be the young one who has it. That was probably one of my other gripes with the film.
All right. I mean, I'm looking at right now. So we had Kent Nelson. After that is Eric Strauss.
Oh, maybe Zataro doesn't get it?
And then Linda Strauss. And then Inza Nelson, Kent's wife. Jared Stevens. Hector Hall. Kent V. Nelson. And then Khalid Nasur. I think Khalid makes the most sense. But it'll be also be kind of funny if it goes to the stripper guy. I forget his name.
I thought that was Ken Nelson.
No. Ken was never a stripper, as far as I'm aware.
But yeah. Either way, it's gone. Maybe it'll reappear. I just thought it would fly away like it usually does, but I guess I thought that would be weird. Also, I kind of wish maybe they had a reason behind it. because it seems like they were trying really hard not to show the Ankh.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the magic felt kind of weird because it's just like glassy yellow. But otherwise, I love Dr. Fate in this movie. So.
A lot of clones.
Yeah, a lot of cloning, and I was just like, he has more powers than men.
You can do other stuff, guys.
Like
you can do whatever he wants. He's like one of the most powerful beings.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of wish we got more out of Sabak. I want to say, because like him becoming Sabak and like the incarnation and then his final look, I was like, oh, this is all kind of cool. But like, I don't really care about the guy at all.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? You would think Shazam would show up or something, because like this seems like something that he should take care of.
I'm sure Sabak will come back, like Shazam 3. And maybe him and Black Adam have to team up to fight him because it's a stronger Sabak or whatever. I don't know. We'll get Shazam 3, Black Adam versus Shazam, Dawn of Sabak. But yeah. All in all, like I said, entertaining movie. I enjoyed it. Definitely issues in the movie as far as like story and shit, but I'm not mad I spent money watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Now we just gotta wait to see what happens next. The Rock wants to face off against Henry Cavill's Superman. He says he doesn't see his Black Adam fighting Shazam at any point. He doesn't see any reason to. I was like, that's your main hero. That's the main guy you fight. What do you mean?
I'm sure someone will find a way to make it happen. But I mean, if he's gonna fight Superman, I will say that movie's post-credit scene felt like the best post-credit scene we've gotten in a comic book movie in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it felt really well done. It was short, sweet, but very tense at the same time.
It seems like Amanda Waller is what binds the DCU together. Like, oh, we're getting her in Peacemaker, we're getting her in Black Adam,
which makes sense.
Squad. She's like in everything.
It makes sense. With how her organization runs, it does make sense that she is like kind of what's connecting. But I feel like that's more organic. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like too much when it's just Amanda Waller connecting the stories and stuff like that. It's like how in early Marvel it was just Nick Fury appearing everywhere.
Yeah,
because it makes sense for his organization.
We also got that one girl, I forget her name, but she's also from Peacemaker.
Oh, was that the blonde girl from Peacemaker?
Yeah, the blonde girl. She was at the prison.
I knew she was important, but I was like, I can't remember.
I don't remember who it is. But she's a blonde girl from Peacemaker. Yeah,
I was like, I do not recall you at all. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for me. Would I watch it again? Yeah.
I'll give it a 7. I highly enjoyed it. My only complaints were some of the dialogues. I think the slow-mo was a bit too much. You get more out of slow-mo the less you use it. The more you use it, the less impressive it all becomes.
Oh, that's the one thing I was going to say. The only time the slow-mo felt really good is when he first came out of the mountain and he was killing like the whole army of Intergang.
Yeah, like the whole army of Intergang, putting grenades in people's mouths and everything.
I liked it a lot because you can see that he's just confused about what the hell they're throwing at him.
I don't know about the song choice for that scene, though. I feel like they could pick something different.
Yeah, the song choice maybe. But it was just interesting because he's looking at the grenade. He's like, the fuck is this? He's seeing like the rockets fly. He's like, what are these? These are helicopters. People are coming out of what? But
people use doors.
But
he just refuses, even though doors existed back then.
But there were some great scenes. I'm
kind of mad that like they even did that Western shootout thing. Like they didn't even watch that scene. He blew up the TV before the shootout happened.
Yeah.
He was like already like from this movie, this one scene in the TV. So I was like, you destroyed the TV before any of this happened.
Yeah. I wonder if he noticed that too. Well, yeah. I think I hope they've realized the issues with this movie and they can make a better movie after that, following with the DC.
Which one's next? Is it Aquaman or Shazam for Flash?
Shazam. I'm pretty sure it's Shazam.
I think Shazam is next.
Because Shazam was actually supposed to come out this year.
Yes, I think it was supposed to come out October. I think Aquaman and Shazam were both supposed to come out this year. Both got pushed back next year.
So
yeah, because I think Aquaman was supposed to come out in December, like against Avatar, right?
yeah.
All right, so we're getting Shazam March. Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom is it comes out December 2023. So maybe I was wrong about that.
What comes out December 2023?
Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then Flash is June 23. And then Blue Beetle August 18th, 2023.
We get a lot of DC movies in 2023.
Yeah.
But it's like not even bad because all these movies have been pushed back. So it's not even like it's going to feel like they've been rushed. Which is kind of nice. They have time to fine tune the CGI.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they already finished filming Blue Beetle like 2 months ago. So that's a long time to be in post-production, honestly.
Which, hey, I mean, with a movie like that, it's probably going to be a lot of CGI. So, hey, if they can make it look nice, I would it.
Yeah.
Do I think movies should need to use as much CGI as they do? No, but if you are, at least take your time on it. Make it look nice. So, it feels like a weird lineup of movies that we're getting for the new age of the DC Universe. The new age of the DC Universe is starting with Black Adam. Then we get Shazam. Oh, wait, what did you say was after that? The Flash?
The Aquaman is after that, and then the Flash, and then Blue Beetle.
And it's just this not like nowhere in between that is there a Batman or Superman movie or Wonder Woman movie.
And in the following year, it mentioned I think Joker 2, it mentioned Batman 2, and then Wonder Woman 3. I think that was the order.
Which just feels so weird, right?
Because the first two of 2024 aren't even in the DCEU universe.
Like it's it's weird. We're in weird times with the DC universe, which I mean, I'm not mad at it, but Jesus, we're in weird times. I just want Man of Steel 2.
Maybe
and I want Batman 2, not the Batman 2, but like maybe just a Batman movie with Ben Affleck, depending on if that's gonna be our Batman. I don't know.
All right. Any final thoughts on Black Adam?
Watch it. No rush to watch it, but watch it in theaters. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. It's an action movie.
I guess that's our take on Black Adam. Now in theaters near you. I'm Haxley. This is Dr. Jeff. We'll be back next week with stuff. I don't even know. Is it just House of Dragon finale that we're coming back to next week?
Yeah. I think it's just.
We don't got Ring of Powers. We don't got anything else.
Black Panther's next month, right?
Yeah, November. But like
the end of Phase 4, finally.
But like I'm talking about for our next episode on the 30th.
Yeah, I mean, we have the House of Dragon finale.
Maybe we'll finally watch Hocus Pocus too if we finally don't have a lot of stuff to watch.
I think Dragon Prince comes out November 3rd.
Yes, you guys keep mentioning November 3rd for Dragon Prince.
I think Titans also comes out November 3rd.
No, because I think you thought that last time and it turned out to be a different date.
Really? I thought I was right.
Were you right? I don't know. Let me go watch this Titans trailer, see if it says it there.
Titans season 4 release date is in fact November 3rd.
Well, guess we are getting it.
So we have plenty of stuff to watch, actually.
On In 2 weeks, not next week.
Next week, just the finale. But hey, that's fine. Maybe we can actually talk our discussion topics that we have like listed.
Okay.
Or maybe we
What we
can
gonna
just
do?
talk about. Well, no, that'd be better in December. I was gonna say comic book movies of the year. There's no more comic book shows coming out, right?
I'm sure.
So we can
We
talk
can-
about the comic book show of the year.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our show. Adios, everyone.
Deuces.